Hi everyone, today I'd like to explore a question that matters not just for our planet, but for how we hold corporations accountable. Is Coca-Cola's World Without Waste initiative a true step towards sustainability, or is it just another case of greenwashing? Coca-Cola launched this initiative in 2018, aiming to promote recyclable packaging, improve recycling rates, and increase the use of recycled materials.
In 2017, we produced over 480 billion bottles. If you stacked those bottles end to end and made a line, you could wrap that around the equator over 2,500 times.
By the time it's 2050, we could have more plastic than fish in the oceans.
There is a whale that was picked up in the coast of Italy that had over 44 pounds of plastic in it.
Now is the time to make change. It's already become out of hand, and we need to act now.
The World Without Waste initiative is our vision and our program for driving the circular economy for our packaging.
World Without Waste is just a sign of how the whole narrative is changing around packaging, and it's so great to see one of the largest bottled beverage manufacturers in the world take this seriously and look for answers.
Sounds great, right? But in this presentation, we'll take a critical look at whether these are genuine sustainability efforts or carefully crafted marketing. We'll use critical thinking tools and analyze how these claims align with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, specifically SDGs 12, 13, 14, and 17. The company's three big promises are: 100% of packaging will be recyclable by 2025, they'll recycle one bottle for every one sold by 2030, and they'll use 50% recycled plastic in their bottles by 2030. These sound like solid goals. But are they realistic, and more importantly, are they effective? Let's look at the first claim. Saying something is 100% recyclable sounds powerful, but that's only technical recyclability. In practice, most of these packages never make it to a recycling center. This is a classic equivocation fallacy, confusing technical possibility with real-world outcome. Coca-Cola shifts the blame to consumers and governments without addressing infrastructure gaps, especially in developing countries. They also fail to explain how they'll support better systems. That's a big miss, especially in terms of 17 Sudanese pounds, global partnership. Now, on to the second claim, recovering one bottle for every one sold. It's vague. What does help recover actually mean? There's no transparency, no data, no third-party audits. This is optimism bias, overestimating their power to control complex global waste systems. And it doesn't convincingly support 13 Sudanese pounds, which is about climate action. Third, Coca-Cola promises to use 50% recycled materials by 2030. But this lags behind companies like Unilever, which aim for 100% by 2025. This is a modest goal dressed up as something impactful. It reflects status quo bias, a safe, unambitious target that risks hiding other environmental costs, like carbon emissions from collection and reprocessing. Again, very little about implementation or timelines. Even if all these targets are reached, Coca-Cola's total plastic footprint is still rising, because sales are rising. The company resists more impactful approaches like reuse systems or deposit return schemes. This is solution aversion, avoiding real structural change. And it undermines 14 Sudanese pounds, which is about reducing marine pollution. These claims rely on common fallacies. Equivocation. Recyclable does not equal recycled. Halo effect. One green act masks overall harm. Appeal to emotion. Feel-good slogans like, no waste, distract from hard facts. Optimism bias. Vague promises without clear paths. All of this adds up to green language, not green action. Thankfully, not everyone's convinced. NGOs like Greenpeace and Break Free from Plastic have called it out as greenwashing. Meanwhile, others are leading real change. Loop's reusable packaging model, Germany's deposit system, and policies like plastic taxes and EPR, extended producer responsibility. These are more aligned with SDGs and focus on upstream reduction, not just cleanup. So, what can we take away? We've learned to question attractive narratives, identify vague metrics and bias, and recognize the difference between intention and implementation. As stakeholders, whether as consumers, students, or researchers, we need to go beyond trusting brand promises and demand real, evidence-based sustainability. Is Coca-Cola greenwashing? Well, it's a bit of both. The initiative shows awareness and public engagement, but it lacks system-wide reform, accountability, and detailed regional strategy. What should they do? Disclose real recycling numbers. Support regulation like deposit return systems. Set phased targets for RPET. Promote reusable packaging, not just recyclable ones. So here's the call to action. We don't need more emotional branding, we need measurable, accountable sustainability. Let's ask critical questions, think systematically, and push for real change. Because green talk is easy. Green action is what matters. Thanks for listening, and stay critical.